Hey everyone, Michael Coovadia here, and in today's video, I'm going to be speaking to you about the two different approaches we have when it comes to running a business in the fitness industry. And I like to refer to these two different business modules as the dinosaur approach and the second module as the New World Order. Now, why is this important? See, throughout the entire universal law, right, there's evolution. Evolution takes place when we're confronted by a situation, and in order to be able to move forward, we have to evolve. It's the natural instinct we have as human beings in order to move forward. That's what happens, right? We evolve as we move along with life. Now, the same thing is true in your business, and the same is true throughout the entire universe. It all comes down to evolution. And I've created an entire module for you today in order to help you understand where you currently are in your business and how your business can evolve with the changing world order. Now, it's going to be very simple. You need to make sure that you go ahead in the description below and download the entire lesson worksheet that I have created for you, where you'll go ahead and implement your numbers. So these are going to be your specific numbers in your current fitness industry and your current fitness business that you are turning at the moment, to get a more realistic point of view on what I'm trying to explain, and then look at what is possible in the future. Because, for example, I'm going to be talking about the people that you reach in your fitness business currently. So think about how many people on a monthly or yearly basis you can actually make a pitch to sign up for your services. Very few, if I must be honest with you, and that's why you're probably battling with your income, right? And I'm going to take you through to the New World Order, where you can see exactly what is possible when you actually can structure your business according to plan and look at the difference between expenses and incomes coming in, etc., especially when it comes to a global scale and what we can do on the internet. So all that we need to do right now is head on over straight to my MacBook, right? I'm going to be taking this entire lesson online. It's going to be dynamic, so you're going to be filling in your exact numbers, as I mentioned, and you're going to see how realistic it is, and then hopefully it changes your mind in order to be able to move forward, which you can then do at the very end of the video. Click on the link below and book a complimentary session with me or my team members, where we'll help you move your business into the New World Order so that you can evolve, your business can evolve, and you can actually make progress as we move forward into the future. So let's head straight on over to my MacBook and we'll start this lesson. Now, when you go down in the description of the YouTube video, you'll find a link, right, to be able to open the old versus new module. Once you open it up, you're going to find an exact worksheet that looks 100% like this. Now, in order for you to be able to start working on it, putting your own data in it in order to give you the most accurate view possible, you need to go ahead and say File, and then make a copy. Because you can see currently it says View Only, so you're not able to change anything at all, right? So we need to say File, make a copy. You could keep the name exactly as is, and then all you're going to do is click OK. You just need to give it a moment for it to load up, let everything load, and once it's loaded, you'd actually go ahead and start putting in your data. So as I've mentioned, there are two different modules that we have businesses which operate in the fitness industry, right? The dinosaur approach, which is your current business module, and the way of the future, or the New World Order, which is the new approach of doing business, provided you know how to run your business in that method, right? Now, what you need to do is super simple. The first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is just highlight all the numbers that we see. We're going to click on Format. You're going to click on Number, right? And then you're going to go right down here and choose a custom currency and choose whatever currency you currently have in your country and select it, and just do it everywhere that you see a number, because, you know, all of you watching this don't use dollars, you know, all in America, you might be throughout different countries around the world. Just go ahead and change this so that it is accurate according to the currency that you use in your country. You do not touch anything in the yellow. You do not touch anything at all in the graphs. All you go ahead and you do. So this is exactly what we're going to do, right? We're going to start putting in the income from your clients. So if you want to be specific, you could go ahead and, for example, if client number 1 is called Michael, and client number 2 is called Joe, and client number 3 is, let's just say, Sandy, or whoever it is. So let's put Joe here, Sandy like this, right down here, Max, Samantha. You get the point, right? So just like that, Samantha. Perfect. And we go ahead and we add what money we get from them per month. So for example, we could get 300 from Michael. You see how this dynamically changes the actual income as well. We could get 300 from Joe. We could get like 250 from Samantha, 400 from Max, whatever it might be on a monthly basis. You go ahead and you actually push through those exact numbers that you have with your clients. Now, if you have more than 10 clients, all you do is you just group them together, or you could go ahead and lengthen this, but there's actual calculations in here, which I wouldn't recommend changing. So what I would do then is just group your clients together, put the cumulative total of all they have. Then you could just, for example, say here, all clients, and put it together as like $5,000 or whatever income you have in. Now, the biggest problem most people in any business, not just the fitness industry, don't actually account for is that what you actually earn from your clients is not what you take home. That's just your total revenue before all your expenses. In order to know whether you've broken even, whether you've made a profit or a loss, you have to take into consideration your business expenses and your cost of living too, right? Because you, at this present moment in time, as a fitness professional, have business expenses as well as costs to actually live, because life costs money at the end of the day. So we have to account for that. Now, most of you have your place of operation. So if you work in a gym, you own your own studio, you have your own practice, whatever it might be, that costs money on a monthly basis. So what we're going to do is go ahead and put that exact amount in, right? Further education, if you enroll in courses or anything on a monthly basis or a yearly basis, you put that in. Then we have transportation, we have advertising, uniform and attire, whatever you need to wear to work and go to your facility, right? We have equipment. If you own your own gym, you need to buy equipment. How much does that cost you on a monthly basis? And then tools of trade, whatever this might be. Maybe you have specific instruments that you use, like you might be an EMS trainer, or for example, you are a mobile trainer and you have very specific tools that are very niche to you specifically, then you go ahead and you put that in. Now, these will be for a monthly basis, as I have said, right? All you're going to do is you go ahead, change all these things, add them in if you have more business expenses, put as accurate data as you possibly can. Then we have the cost of living, right? So the biggest cost of living most people have is their home rental or their home repayment. If you have a loan from the bank, you go ahead and you put that in. Your car expenses, right? How much do you pay on a monthly basis for your car? Fuel, like to travel, not just to and from work, to actually travel around wherever you're going. How much do you spend a month on gas? So, it could be $50 to $200, whatever it might be, put that in as well. Then we have medical expenses. If you have kids, their expenses. If you have food, the expenses for food. And then supplements and healthcare. Each and every single one of you in this industry, I know 100% certainty, spend money on supplements, protein shakes, vitamin D3, whatever it might be. So you need to put that in. And that's all that you do, right? You just plug this detail or this information in for the current month, and then guess what happens? It will calculate for you on a 5-year basis, taking into account what happens over the course of the year, including inflation of a standard 10%. So if your income were to increase every year by 10%, it would automatically calculate that for you, right? Now, when we go ahead, we could also look at we see people reached. So if you have a gym, I've tried to really be abundant here and give you as much as I possibly could. Or you're a personal trainer, you work in a gym, or whatever you might actually do, you have your own studio. In 1 year, you and I both know that you don't really come into contact with more than 1,000 people. It's very unlikely for that to happen. You probably don't even see 200 people in an entire year. So this year you could go ahead and change if you wanted to, but I've actually put this data in with the data and the resources that I have from all the students we have in our coaching program for the years, and I was an ex-personal trainer as well. I've done research and accurate understanding of the market in order to bring these numbers in. So I've also increased these by a factor of 10% on a yearly basis, right? So you can see in year 1, you'll start with 1,000 people that you'd be able to reach, if any. And in year 5, it would just be 1,400 people, taken into consideration that I've given you a 10% increase per year. The same with your income, right? But guess what happens now? When we look at your current business module, we can see where you're actually losing your money, right? Or where your money is actually being spent. Now, this graph will be very different for you. This is all the dummy data that I have in here at the moment, and this is why it's showing it like that. So you'll see the biggest portions. Like if you click on it, it will actually tell you how much percentage as well of your income is being spent on X, Y, and Z. So you can see where the biggest portion of it is going to. And in my honest opinion, it's probably going to be the place of operation which you're spending the most on, which is about 27 to sometimes even 35 or 40% of your income. This combination with your home repayment is definitely draining each and every single one of your money, right? But then if we actually look at it, so now we take this current business module, if it were to increase, right? Some people would say, heck, in year 1, I'm earning $75,000. And in year 5, I'm going to be earning $110,000. That's going to be great. Of course it's not, because there's inflation, there's expenses, there's cost of living which goes up, right? And the only way for you to be able to increase this by a factor more than 10%, 50%, 100%, 1,000% is by reaching more people. But look what happens, right? So your income goes up, I would say, not very drastically, but gradually over the years by a factor of 10. But look at the number of people that you reach. It cannot. It stays stable, right? Nothing's happening to that. If you reach those people, it's not to say that you're even going to reach it in the next year ahead. It's probably going to remain the same. So the income goes up, the expenses go up, but the number of people don't stay the same. So guess what happens? At the end of the month, you're actually taking home less. You're actually in deficit, right? Now, if you don't have enough money, to be able to take your family on a vacation, enough money to save, enough money to put into the stock market, then you are in the dinosaur approach of running a business. You have the current business module, which is not working at all. But as I said, evolution is to be able to adapt and then move forward, right? And that's why I have the way of the future business module. And this is exactly what we teach in My Fitness Brain, exactly what people that come through to our coaching program in order to enroll for it with all this excitement. They want to move forward to the new way of doing things. They want to move forward with the new way of running a fitness business, right? Now, I want you to have a look at something. You can see the expenses. Sure, I've gone ahead and I've changed this. I think I had it at, let's just see. I can't really remember. I'm just going to put it at $500. Doesn't really matter. So we kind of get them equal. I wanted them to be as equal as possible, but it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? So I'm going to go through the future business module with you. Now you'll automatically see that you're earning more money. Look at this. We're earning small petty cash from these clients, right? But when you come to the future of doing business, guess what happens? Automatically you attract higher quality clients who pay you more for the services, provided that your services are on point. So now a client's not worth $200 or $300. A client is worth $1,000, right? Or maybe you don't want higher end clients, but guess what you can do? You can get way more clientele in because of the number of people that you're able to reach. And I'll show you exactly how this works. So we go ahead, we put in all the incomes again. You don't have to change anything here. You don't even have to change the currency. I've built this as a dummy for what is possible and what students in our course do, right? Then we've put in business expenses. Now, when you're running a business in the new way that I actually teach, right? You don't have operational expenses. You don't have traveling expenses. You don't have uniform and attire. Maybe you have some equipment, some tools of trade, but nothing crazy at all. The biggest expenses that you'd probably have is advertising, because here's something that you need to understand. Successful people spend a lot of money on advertising. And why? Because advertising increases the reach of people that we can get on a yearly basis, monthly, yearly, daily, however you want to break it down, right? Because for example, the first business module, I'm not actually able to reach anyone. I'm doing posts on my Facebook, my Instagram, whatever it might be. Nobody's actually coming in and large amounts of traffic who want to sign up, right? But in the way of the future, we're running the advertising system so systematically that here I'm moving up. Here I'm only at 1,000. Here I'm able to reach 100,000 people in year one. Think about how many more opportunities that creates for you to be able to make money, to help people get into shape or do whatever it is they're looking to achieve, right? So the first we have is like the websites, the email software, scheduling software, etc., the costs of running your business, the burn rate, should we say. Before we actually even move forward and calculate anything else, we have to look at what the core costs of a business are. And we can put that at about $700 because this is what students in our course spend. Then we always recommend starting with about $1,500 to begin with. Now you might think, hey, I don't even have $1,500. Guess where it comes from? It comes from cutting down on these things and we just move it in here directly, right? Then we might have some equipment. Maybe you need a few things. You might be doing it on Zoom, Skype, however you decide to. And the only other thing is a stable internet connection. That's how I'm able to work from anywhere around the world, right? I just need a very good internet connection. So for example, I could literally go to speedtest.net. That's the most important thing for me that I need in any country around the world. I pay very good money for a very fast internet. And you could see, hopefully it's going to give us a very good internet here as well as I do this test.
Yeah, not the best, not the worst, but at the moment it's okay. Probably because I'm making this video, it's a little less. But you see, it's things that you don't think about here, because here we're thinking of uniform and attire, equipment, further education. Here we're thinking of things that will actually move the business forward: advertising, internet, tools and software, right? Things that are going to help you move your business forward. Then we come to the cost of living. So nothing actually changes here. You can see here my cost of living has actually gone up. So current business module, 2,600. I've actually been conservative here and pushed the cost of living up, right? So home, I can live in a better home. Car, I could drive a better car. Fuel, I could spend probably a little less because I'm not traveling back and forth to work every day. Medical expenses probably stay the same. The kids, they stay the same as well. Food stays the same, and supplements and healthcare kind of stay the same. So the only thing that actually changes is where you're actually living or whatever else you want to do. Because as you know, you have more money, naturally you'll be inclined to have a better quality of life, right? Now, taking into consideration all the expenses less the income, right? Or the income less the expenditure, should we say. Here you have an actual income left over at the end of the month of $5,400. Here you have nothing, you less, $100. When you come to the new way of running your business, you actually have money. Guess what you could go ahead and do with this money? Heck, I've already paid off my car. I've already paid off my home. I could go on a vacation. I can invest in a coaching program like Project X. I could invest more in my marketing to grow my business even more. There's so much endless possibilities that can be done when you have more free income. Now, let's look at your expenses, right? Even if we take it growing by just 10% per year. So in the first year, you'll make $67,200. I think it's exactly the same. Maybe in year one, you're making a little bit more in the current business, but then exponentially, it goes way higher than what you actually would be earning if we just have to take into, these are the expenses. Give me a second. So these are your expenses. They weren't your income, it was the expenses. Look at how your expenses keep increasing, but your income stays the same. The same thing here that happens, right? Your expenses will increase for sure on a yearly basis. I know some of you looking at this might think, heck, I don't even make 98,000 a year in income. So how am I going to even afford that in expenses? The problem is you need to be able to move forward in order to understand that. Now we're not reaching 1,000 people any longer. We're reaching 100,000. And it doesn't increase by a factor of 10% anymore. Now it's exponential. 300,000, 500,000, 700,000, and then 1 million people per year by year 5. Guess what happens? Now look at it, right? Look at the people you reach versus your cumulative expenses. Now look at it here. Your expenses are way higher than the people you reached. Here you have an exponential graph of your actual people that you're reaching increasing, which is automatically going to go ahead and increase your income at the end of the day. If we look at this pie chart as well, the biggest chunk of money is gone into advertising. Why? Because successful people spend the most amount of money on advertising, and that is exactly what takes their business forward. Then we have the operational expenses, which are, the burn rate of running any business at the end of the day, the internet and the equipment. And that's as simple as it is. Now, I want to take you guys through to my Fitness Brains original website, so give me a moment. So I'm just going to open up my website right here for fitness professionals, and you can see we teach you, with exact precision, battle tested and proven in the market to work, right? How to build, market, grow, and scale a highly profitable fitness business that will actually move forward, will actually survive, and will actually thrive in the way of the new world order, right? It's imperative to understand this. We have the blueprint for success. We offer you the environment and the tools and services for you to be able to grow, scale, and market your business. And lastly, we bring our entire success-orientated environment to you. So you never have to go about wondering where you're going to get help from. We bring this entire support system to you, so you're supported at every single step along the way. Now, if you want to be able to get along and you want to understand more about this new method of doing business, you want to move away from the old, right? The old current business module, the dinosaur approach, and move into the new world order, then just go ahead and schedule an appointment. Just enter your name, your email address, book it now, choose a time that works for you, and me and my team will be extremely excited to help you make that transition from, being broke, having your expenses the only thing that increases on a yearly basis, and actually have the people that you reach increase, which will drastically increase your income. As always, like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Share it with people that you know in the fitness industry who are battling, who are looking for a better solution, but you need to go ahead and do this work. So actually go ahead, make sure that you test this out so you know that it's that's accurate to you specifically, and then go ahead and book the call, which you could also find the link in the description below. You'll come right to this website. You could read about it as well, watch the video if you want to, schedule a call with us, and we'll be 100% happy to help you move into the New World Order. So that's all from me, and I'll see you guys in the next video next week.